Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the episode. I don't even know what episode we're on. 5, 6? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure,
We had a
actually.
big weekend. South Dakota hockey started. Very exciting. Before we hop into there, we got to hop in and see how Carter did. Carter's team is on a 3-game losing streak. The Lumberjacks are. But Carter had a good weekend as he scored a goal and 2 assists.
Mhm.
I also got into a fight, it looks like. I saw 32 minutes on one of them.
Mhm.
They do play tomorrow.
Yep,
Right
under 17.
Yep, right before Thanksgiving here. So very excited for that. He's been doing pretty good. I know he's been trying to get that point per game around there area, and he's getting pretty darn close to that. So it's fun. I'm excited to see him here and started, in a couple months. We're like literally 2 months away. So pretty excited stuff. Other than that, let's hop into South Dakota hockey. I think that's what a lot of you guys are excited for. Honestly, we're pretty excited about it. It's been a fun weekend kind of following along and with all these games. So we'll hop into what happened Friday night. This will be Friday, November 21st. There's 2 games for boys varsity. Yankton versus Huron, where Yankton won 10-1. We had Sioux Falls West and Mitchell. Sioux Falls West won that one 8-4. That one was really close. That was a 3-4 game, or let's see, 5-3 game after the second. So it was a pretty darn close game. And then a lot of shots on Sioux Falls West, 66 shots for 13. But to me, that just shows that Mitchell, when they have their opportunity to score, watch out because they're going to score their goals. And then on to Saturday, we had about 5 games there with Huron and Watertown. Watertown beats Huron 3-1. We broadcast this last one. I know we have a lot of people that watch that. Aberdeen versus Brennan Valley. That went into overtime. Really fun. 4-3 win for Aberdeen. That was very exciting. Saw some crash and burns right at the beginning of the game before it started, taking out his own teammates.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that at that.
Yep,
You can go watch that and watch if that hasn't gone around your guys' town yet. That was quite funny. The Pierre Mitchell game, I talked to Capital City Rock, John, that does the Pierre games, and he had one fun game. Pierre wins the game in Mitchell 4-3 with like 0 seconds left. They just scored with like a 0.1 left or whatever it was, which that was really, really cool. And then Yankton played Sioux Center, beat them 15-0. We got some cool little highlights from Sioux Center. They had some pretty good saves that will be coming out here. And then, probably the big 2 games in the boys varsity was Rapid and Brookings, where Rapid won the first game 4-0. And then they played Saturday, and Rapid also won 6-4. So just seeing that, kind of getting going with Brookings there. It took them maybe a little bit. They only had 14 shots the first game compared to Rapid's 39. And then, the second game comes by. I was able to watch a little bit, and I saw Brookings score on the power play. But, Brookings stopped Rapid with 29 shots, and they had another shot at 15. So
they're able to find the back of the net with about the same amount of shots.
Yeah, so that's good. It's that can be a little scary there at the first couple games. So again, that could be our championship games there, and it could be a different outcome.
Yeah. I know. It's like you're just like, these 2 teams have to play each other right away first games of the season.
Yeah. But that's the fun part of it too.
Yep. Because we had to do the same thing for us.
Yeah.
That was right away.
So but yeah, also games that happened. Sioux Falls East played Sioux Center. Sioux Falls East wins 11-1. Aberdeen and Pierre played. Pierre won 6-2. I was at that game. I think that could have been a lot closer. I think, we were there Saturday and they let them play. There was, pushing some shoving and some decent hits. Yeah. Some were questionable. I would have called a few, but then a new ref shows up Sunday, and
everything it looked like,
it was just awful. Yeah. It really was. Like,
because I looked at that score too, and I saw the penalty minutes, and I was like, holy, there was a lot of penalties.
It wasn't
every period, but because it all looked like roughing. hitting behind, and
it
seeing it on the box score is different than seeing it in person.
it just wasn't it there was like he was just calling it, I think Jackson got a penalty. It was a roughing, but
Mhm.
it was a very clean hit where he poke checked it first. He missed the poke check, but then he played the body. He went foul through, called him for roughing. And there was a tripping penalty. Um, I One of the refs was right there, shook his head, nope, looked good. Back ref calls a penalty on tripping.
Mhm.
And it's like that wasn't like it was just a ref just trying to control the game. There was times where it got out of hand where Aberdeen started to kind of just hit the body and not go for the puck, and he wouldn't call anything.
Yeah.
So it was just very inconsistent. I know Pierre scored 2 on the power play there on like a 5-on-3 for like 4 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
and so, um, but good for Pierre for the win. They took advantage of it. They can't,
Mhm.
they're playing the game, and
Mhm.
when they have the opportunity, they capitalized on it. So congrats on that. But yeah, that's just something to look out for, I guess. I know I've heard that the USA Hockey, the whole national thing,
Mhm.
came and talked to the head refs, and talked about how they want them to let them play more because when they go to nationals and this and that, they're always the most, they're complaining out of most teams. So
That they're not getting calls
yes, because
because
of
that's how it's called
yeah,
here.
this is what
Yes.
it's called here. So
Yep.
we don't get what what other teams are getting,
Mhm.
and so it's it's just surprising. We don't let the players just play,
Yeah.
be boys and hit. So
Mhm.
something to look out for. You guys might see that changing here in the next coming up weeks. There might be some, things happening where you're gonna just you're gonna let you're gonna
Yeah.
let the guys be guys, and you're gonna
Uh,
might be able to get hit. But yeah, there was that one in Brandon Valley that really torqued me off. There was a boarding that they did not call. A kid gets hurt. I believe he messaged me and told me he was having an MRI. So not sure what happened. Hopefully everything's okay. But something like that, when you have a good player like that get hurt on your team, you don't
you don't get a
you
call or anything
gotta
like that.
yeah you gotta change it up. So,
Mhm.
but
And
yeah,
emotions run high with these kids, so you never, like the refs got to be able to stop that before it gets out of hand.
yeah,
Because you got to remember, they're still young. They're still kids. So like emotions, get the better of us. A lot of the
exactly.
time. So just you hope to make better decisions so that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so the standings there right now for the boys varsity, we got 1, 2, and 3 ties with Yankton, Pier, and Rapid at 2-0. Yankton gets the first. Yankton, Pier, and Rapid are like that because of games 4 or goals 4. In fact, probably should be Yankton, Rapid, and Pier just because
You can score
goals
more.
against. Rapid has one less goals against, but
Hmm.
oh, other than that, they're all tied for first. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. Let me see. Yeah, 4 teams that are with one goal, 2 points, which are Sioux Falls West and East, Watertown, and Aberdeen, and then Brandon Valley right now at the 8 seed with an OT loss, which is
Gives them a
which
point.
is 1 point as well. Other than that, then Brookings, Sioux Center, Mitchell, and Huron. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see. I will say I want to see Yankton play a little bit tougher team. It'll be interesting to see what happens there
Hmm.
because that's going to be, you know, to see where they're really at. They play Mitchell here on the 29th. That'll be a fun one to see what happens there. And then they play Rapid. So that's where it's going to matter for them to see kind of where they fit in at. And I'm excited to see that. Same with the Sioux Falls teams. Seeing them play a little bit more teams and see if Pierre can just keep on capitalizing on that and hopefully also see how Brookings bounces back and try to get some more wins there. So
Yeah.
that is it for boys varsity. Bauer's going to go over the girls varsity and how that weekend went.
Do my best here. Yep. So Friday night, there was only just the one game for the girls varsity, and it was I imagine the Brookings all traveled together as the Brookings girls take on the Rushmore Thunder girls, and it was the opposite for the girls games as Brookings wins 7-0 over the weekend for them on Friday at least. And for Saturday, looks like it started off with at noon the Pierre versus Mitchell, and Pierre ends up winning 2-1. Close game. Looks like to be a good game. Yeah, it looks like Mitchell scored in the third to bring it into a 1-goal game. We just couldn't bury another one. But yeah, that looks to be a good game. 28-23 for shots on favor of the Capitals. Um, Next was the second game for the Brookings and the Rushmore Thunder. And it was about the same score, 7-1. Rushmore gets a goal, though, so they don't get shut out that game. But Brookings, the Rangers girls, take 2-0, take the sweep over the weekend for them. So they can brag to the boys that they won both their games. No, just kidding. But anyways, after that, the final game for Saturday at 4 p.m. was versus Watertown versus Sioux Falls Flyers, and the Flyers take that game 8-1 to finish off the rest of that day for Saturday the 22nd. Then we move on to the Sunday 23rd. That's where I was confused here because they played 3 games, the Rangers and Thunder. So I guess it wasn't a 2-game.
Yes, girls play everyone
Isn't
3
3.
times,
Okay, okay. So
I believe.
yeah, okay. So this one was closer though. It was 4-0 for the Rangers win over Rushmore. So positive outside for to look at for Rushmore is that they're at each game you could see, granted only looking at the score sheet, that it got better and they got better, played better. They made it more of a game. But the second game after that one was the Oahe Capitals versus the Aberdeen Cougars, and that game looked like it went down the wire as he scored in the first, and then that was it. The only scoring is they win 1-0, and Aberdeen actually outshoots the Capitals 27-24. But goaltending was the key for Oahe as they come on top and win that 1-0. And the final game for Sunday was the Flyers versus the Marlins, Mitchell, and the Flyers end up taking that one 7-0. So they score a touchdown on them and shut them out. And they put up 5 in the third, so they had a big third period that really took it home for them, as they only scored 2 in the first and then went scoreless in the second. They held Mitchell to 0 shots in the third too, so that's kind of where that stems from for that 5 goals. It's 50-7 in shots, so Mitchell's goaltender had a busy day that day.
Yeah. I do believe the girls varsity, um like you take Brookings and Sioux Falls,
Mm-hmm.
those are probably gonna be your 1 and 2.
Yep.
But then when you have Pierre and even Aberdeen,
Mm-hmm.
their goaltendings are so solid that the girls need to start finding the back of the net for them
Yeah.
to,
Probably
look.
got to make a move more.
Yeah, so with Aberdeen, you got to find a way to score. I think they
Mm-hmm.
still got the talent there still. You got this is I believe Chloe's a senior for them at goaltending, and if they
Yeah.
can play, they got a goaltender that is gonna, maybe allow 1 or 2 goals tops, but you can find 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna be able to win a majority of your games. So, um, you know, like I think the top 4 there is going to be like, Brookings, Sioux Falls, Pierre, and Aberdeen, with Mitchell right there at 4 is how I see it. But yeah, I think the fun two again are going to be the Brookings and Sioux Falls, and again Aberdeen. Just like last year, I believe they had a play, play Sioux Falls, and they ended up losing at state. I think it was Sioux
Mm-hmm.
Falls, but yeah, I think that's going to be a fun season to watch out for.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Just
see what you
watch
got.
out. See, they play each other 3 times. Watch out for Brookings and Sioux Falls, and see kind of if they split or if one kind of sweeps. So it's going to be interesting on what happens there, and I'm excited for watching some of the girls' games here.
Yeah, because
As
on the 29th, Brookings they play the Capitals, so they get a little they play Oahe, so that should be a good game to watch out for. And that we won't, but we will be doing the 28th. right?
Yeah, we're gonna try
This
to do the girls, the Aberdeen Cougar girls here
yeah.
the 28th and the
And it
29th, I believe.
no, it should just be the 29th because the 28th looks like they're away in Watertown.
Oh, there. Okay, so it'll be the 29th, and then
Yeah.
I might do the 30th by myself. So if Bauer could do it all year, I could do at least 1 or 2 games this year as well. So, um, but yeah, the big, it looks like Rapid comes here for a game, um, and then wow, yeah. So then yeah, I'll do those two hopefully, and for Aberdeen. That's my plan. I hope to do it, and just got to run it by a few bosses here. But other than that, yes, I can't. I'm very excited
Mhm.
because then the 30th, right there, Brookings and Sioux Falls will play. So
Yeah,
very
watch
excited.
out for that game.
So very excited for that
To watch that
coming
one
up
on Live Barn.
Sunday. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and for standing wise, Brookings is they're obviously on top with playing the 3 games and winning the 3 games, so the 3-0, and then it just goes Brookings, Oahe, Sioux Falls, Sioux Center, which Sioux Center hasn't played a game yet,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's why I believe they're in the middle there as they haven't had any games yet played. And then Aberdeen, Watertown, Mitchell, and Rushmore at the bottom. They lost the 3, but a big weekend for Brookings. The clean sweep puts them on first and ahead right away early on in the season. But yeah, it looks like they'll get challenged early on, so it'll be fun to watch here coming up the next couple weeks.
Yep. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned for our live streams on that. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, hopefully we can bring some Aberdeen girls varsity hockey to you guys this weekend,
Yeah, yeah.
and see how they see if they can't find the back of the net and help Chloe out there. And so other than that, good games to everyone. I
Yep.
will say, send in your clips, guys. I really appreciate what we got right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do every 2 weeks, do a top 10 of 2 weeks. So I would love to do that. So just send them in. We can look at them. We can figure out our top 10,
Mm-hmm.
and
Even if done
we
need
can do
10, it could
that.
be 5 too.
I'd
If
love to do a top 10.
no, I know,
But
I
yeah,
know, I know. I think
s-
we get enough.
yeah.
You know.
So just send them in. It's easy for us to do Aberdeen as we're doing the Aberdeen games.
Yeah.
It's easy to us forget to get those clips, but take the time, get some clips to us. We would love to you know put them on here, put them on our social media, which we've been just starting to do here.
Mm. Yeah. Let us
You
showcase
guys,
you
yeah,
guys.
we've been big saves from Brandon Valley,
Mm-hmm.
in Aberdeen. You're going to see a nice Peter Forsberg goal
Oh yeah.
tomorrow.
Heck yeah.
We love that one. And so just send them in. We got a Sioux Center one coming up. So yeah, just send those our way, guys. We'll look at them and we'll try to make a top 10 list.
Mm.
We also want to try to do some other things as well that in the future we're trying to work on to have you guys engage more and things like that.
You make
So
you want to play better, and
exactly.
you be a
You don't want
star
to
of
be
the
on
week.
our list, okay? Let's just say that. So, but yeah, we'll hop over into the NHL. We're gonna make this kind of nice and quick here.
Yeah, I got some shoveling and snowblowing to do. It's
Before he goes to work.
yeah. And actually, I don't work tonight. Yes. No, because I did 2 12s the last 2 days. So I did 2 12s, and then I got 4.5. So I've
Well,
averaged 5 hours of sleep the last couple days.
that a boy. So let's we'll start in the Western Conference here. With that Pacific, the Ducks are just hanging on up there.
Yeah.
You got Seattle that's coming, making some noise. Same with the LA Kings.
Can you believe that? What you just said too?
What? The
Ducks up at top, and
top.
then what you just said too.
Seattle's
Seattle
is-
right behind them.
Yeah.
If I had told you you would have been saying that on right now before Thanksgiving, before the season started, you'd probably call me crazy.
I'd be like, dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no way. Did you see Anaheim's draft, dude? There's no way.
Yeah, but look, we know their draft. Everybody who they draft, their young guys are all coming together. Leo Carlson,
Yeah.
stud. The kid's absolute stud.
Yeah. So again, if you just take the wild card spot and down, the wild card spot's right at the 27 point mark.
Mhm.
the lowest is 16. That's pretty crazy already. But like,
That's bad.
if when you look at probably Vancouver and St. Louis right at 20 points, like that's still pretty close where we're at in the year.
Mhm.
So right now there's two teams that are like you could almost count them out of the year. We'll get to that, but right now, the lock-ins almost are like Colorado and Dallas.
Yeah.
Those guys are kind of, especially Colorado.
We
I
knew that.
I think Colorado is going to be a lock-in at where they're at. They're going for a President's Trophy. They're already like 10 points, pretty near 10 points in front of Anaheim, who's leading Pacific. So yeah, that's kind of a given. But yeah, this whole wild card spot or the whole Western Conference, just by looking at it, the biggest team that's sneaking their way in, like you could say Seattle sneaking right there, but they've been on one, two, or they've been two or three, since the start of the year, so
Mhm.
not really sneaking away, but
Stabilized.
a team that's quietly coming out of the blue and surprising me mostly is the Minnesota Wild. And
8-1-1.
yep, they are 28 points, 2 points behind, one game pretty much behind Dallas. Dallas does play tonight against Edmonton.
The only game tonight.
Yep, and so, but yeah, they're finding, finally getting points from guys other than Kaprizov,
Well, also just one. Boldy.
and their goaltender.
Yeah.
You know,
Gustafson's been better.
it's
Well, and Wellstat.
yeah,
Well,
he's
the
like
rookie.
5-0. The rook's like 5-0.
Yeah, rookie's been doing Jasper, remember, doing really well.
Yeah, did you see that whole thing with him? So you have Edmonton who's looking for this goaltender.
Mhm.
The Wild used Edmonton's pick that they traded for this goaltender.
Not a slap in the face.
Gosh,
Oilers.
the Oilers be freaking unbelievably good right now if they had
well,
him.
they'd be probably a bit better, without
Yeah,
Stuart Skinny.
Wallstedt or something
Yeah,
like that.
Wallstead.
1.94 goals against, a 935 save percentage, and yeah, I believe, like I said, he's 5-0.
Yeah.
I'm pretty darn sure.
He was, I think, on back-to-back shutouts.
Yeah, he was.
He had 2 back-to-back shutouts, but then the third
Okay.
game, I think they got scored.
Shutout. Yeah, so he has 6 wins, 3 shutouts now.
Yeah.
They don't give me a
Wild.
loss. I don't. Yeah, he has not lost a game
No.
yet.
Nope.
His last 5, he's all won. I don't. And yeah.
Nope. It's
Games played. Well, he's
good.
played 8, so
Mm-hmm.
6-2, I guess.
Because I think he was on the roster. I don't know if he actually was on the roster last year at the beginning of the year. I don't know if they were one of the teams that had 3 goalies because they weren't sure whether he was ready to make that transition up into backup starting.
Heck?
And with Fleury retiring and all that, they left him down there.
Well, he has
sorry. The kid he's been known to they've known about him being ready to come out. When is the right time, and this year obviously is the right time because the kid's been great.
Yeah, he's 6-0-2. He's lost 2 in OT or shootout.
Yeah,
but still really good. If they can ride that tail, maybe they can keep this up again.
Mm-hmm.
Kaprizov's going to get off. Well, he's already been hurt, so maybe that's the only time he's going to be out.
Yeah, right.
But if Wild can keep going and they, can fight for this 2-3 spot, that'll be nice. But
yeah, a little more help from Eriksson Ek might help somewhat a little bit. Boldy's doing his part, obviously, even on the power play. He's doing really good on the power play. And their rookie Zeev Byam, the defenseman, he's leading them with Brock Faber up there with points. So they've got a good kind of core building right now. If they could keep it and build off of it, the future's bright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the point wise, 27, 25, Kaprizov, and then Boldy 25. Mm-hmm. Then you got Marcus Johansson.
Goals too. So.
Yeah, Marcus Johansson, 19, and then 15, 13. So kind of drops off there a little bit. But to see your third guy being an older veteran guy kind of does hurt a little bit when you're looking for these younger guys to do as much as possible.
Yeah, and step up a little bit more.
But overall, not terrible.
No, well, they sneakily made their way back in there without being noticed.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. I think.
Yep.
For
And then
them.
and then that wild card spot is very tight with Vegas, Utah.
Utah's
You
falling
can
down a
you
little
can put
bit.
Minnesota there, LA. Well, you can put Anaheim, Seattle, and LA.
They're all neck and neck.
Right
They're
there
one game.
because the Sharks, Edmonton, Vegas are right there at 27, 25 each.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton wins tonight, they get moved up into a wild card spot. Dallas wins tonight, they move up. Well, they don't move up, but they gain points or 2 games on the Wild. So
Yeah, and how come Vegas has played so much less games? I mean, like, or
yeah,
not
they're
Vegas,
at
Winnipeg. Sorry,
oh
Winnipeg, because they're down there at only 24 points, but they've only played 21
games.
games,
Yeah,
and some teams have played 24 already, so they're like 3 games behind
done.
on some
Yeah,
teams.
so
So like,
that you give them 3 points, they're
yeah,
up into the
they don't even have an
three
overtime
spot.
loss. So
Yeah,
like, they haven't even went. I don't even know if they've went into overtime.
yeah.
They haven't even they haven't
I
even
think
went
they
into overtime yet. So into a game because they've got 12 wins with 24 points. 2 points for 12
yeah.
games. That 12 that's 24. And so like they haven't even went into overtime yet to get an extra point.
Yeah.
And so if you look at that, the 3 games back, like yeah, that's like you said, that's 3 points that could put them up
Yep.
there at wild card spot. So like yeah, I went look too. If I'm Jets fans, don't look. I know it's scary seeing them down there below Edmonton, but you got to remember, yeah, they've played
Yeah.
three games less than most teams, or two, at least 2 or 3.
If you could, who would be a team that's below the wild card spot that you would like to be like, yeah, take this team out and put this team there, and I would love to see them in the playoffs. It can be 1 or 2 teams because, like in my mind, I got 2 teams right now where
I probably already know what you're thinking.
who
Which teams you're thinking of? It's
I think you do.
Chicago and San Jose.
Yeah,
But
what would you feel like? I could see Sharks taking over and getting like Seattle out of
yeah,
it,
I would like to see
right?
him, but
And then
do I see him going past the first round? No.
I don't either. I don't either. But like having
No.
then Chicago maybe get into a wild card spot,
Yeah.
like those 2 teams would be so much fun to watch in playoffs.
Yeah, I think it'd basically just be like last year's Ottawa and Montreal in
Yeah.
the East wild card. They both finally made it after a while trying to
Yeah.
get back, and they kind of got bounced quick, but they got the experience, they got the time that would help them grow, and
Yep.
especially all the young kids. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but I think I would rather see Utah stay in there,
Yes.
and then Seattle to come back into there and leave Anaheim in there. But yeah, I mean, it is San Jose's time. They're coming. I give them another year or two, and they will officially, like, there should be like nothing below playoffs.
Mhm.
Like that should be the standard. Should be playoffs.
Yeah.
There, back to how it used to be.
Yeah. All right. So now another question here on the bottom 2 teams here. You got Calgary and Nashville. When do you maybe not in Calgary's window right now, but at least
Calgary's on the
Nashville.
upside.
Yeah. What up, Ladybug?
Ladybug's still alive.
Okay.
Just remember, Calgary's on
Cool.
a 3-game win streak right now, so they're doing a little bit better.
Yep. So that's why, yeah, just because they're down there, like, but like with Nashville, Nashville's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
When do you start saying, okay, we tried this last year, we sucked, we're trying this again this year, and nothing's happening? Is it time to say, okay, let's start getting rid of these guys, or it's just it didn't work? You have these superstars, but it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be honest, I would love to see, because I feel like you can get Stamkos on a discount now. We know he's good, but it's just the system is not good for him.
Mm-hmm.
So something's not clicking with the system that all these guys are playing with.
All the old heads are,
because it just doesn't make sense. Like this
There's
team
a lot
should
of things wrong.
be good. This team on paper, we've been saying it for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They should be dominant.
Mm-hmm. They just have
And
the thing is they
can't do anything.
They got too many wingers, nobody in center to help the wingers, and up the middle they're horrible. But that's just like the beginning stuff. Like this team from the ground up is like broken down, and I don't know how. And it all started kind of when Trotz took over. Like they were doing good before Trotz took over, and then they had like not last year but the year before they went on that crazy like 23-game win streak, to bring themselves back alive. I think make the playoffs that year. But then they get bounced the first round. But everything was on the upside. They had young guys coming in. They were starting to produce. Things were looking hot. And then what do they do? What do they do in the offseason? They go and trade away the young guys, get
Guys.
rid of them, and they bring in the three big free agency signings. Okay,
Yeah.
well you think like, oh, it's going to be great. Well, then you have a season like last year where it did not work out, and they know it, but they're ready. They're old enough to know to get better. You
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
and then you get to this year, and it's basically the start was a little better. The start was better,
But
but now it has fallen off hard, and I mean, Trotz has come out and said he's not gonna get rid of Burnett, their head coach.
yeah.
But Trotz has also said that these guys are sucking right now, and you know what they proceeded to do the next following day is get scored on 11 seconds in by the Panthers, and then proceed to lose 8-3 and get beat up, which was yesterday. And so it doesn't matter what gets said out publicly to these guys to say, hey, you guys need to play better. You guys suck.
Yeah.
It still did nothing. That did nothing. Like they've just been all shells of themselves, and they're defensively horrendous. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like after the contract Saros got last year, you know, Saros is a good goalie. He's a good goalie. He
Yeah.
played great in the Four Nations. He's got no help. He can't do it all the time, and it like it's starting to. This is how the Sabres started. I feel like you start to get into this type of stuff year after year, and then it just gets embedded into the culture. It starts to
Yeah.
become a losing culture. Everybody starts going after everybody. It starts to become a toxic
Yeah.
environment. And then, like, I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't know what you do to solve it. Do you just get rid of Trotz and head coach and bring in both all new people and revamp? Get rid of maybe some
If
pieces to try to get young guys back. So, like, trade,
yeah.
like, I mean, honestly, like Forsberg, like people who can bring in assets,
Well,
players
that's
that
the
can bring
thing.
in
Yeah.
assets.
You you take yeah. So you go one way where you get rid of the GM and the coach or
Mm-hmm.
the GM,
Mm-hmm.
but then the GM's the one that brought all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
I think
his plan failed.
I think plan failed. I think now it's time to we're not gonna get what we got
You need to
back
get picks and young guys.
because they're not there. So what can we do? Because all these guys are playing like Stamkos. I think honestly I think you put Stamkos
I
in
don't know. I think Father Time's starting to catch up.
nah. You can't tell me that this guy that's a top 3 point getter at Tampa Bay and then comes here and he can't do anything.
He's
That's
also getting
not
fed by Kucherov.
that's not a Stamkos cannot be the star player. Of course, I know there's more star players,
Hmm?
but again, it does go back to coaching in that style. Stamkos has learned that style in Tampa Bay for so long that he didn't have to do as much as he probably has to do in Nashville. So do you I honestly believe one of these guys, or two of them, or maybe all three, I don't know, but I can see them starting to start getting asked to leave
Mm-hmm.
because me as a Canes fan, you know, I, I would love to see I think Stamkos would be great. I'd be a great addition for we're going to be a contender this year. I think it'd be a great addition to help out on that our left and right side. We have um we're having some trouble right now on our couple of our wings, and I think having a veteran guy there, even to play with Kopitar, him and Kopitar would be so much fun to watch. So I just think of that, and then I also think of other. You look at Nashville again. I don't think they're not gonna go anywhere in the Central, but heck, look at if you want to stick with Stamkos, he's gonna be on an easy budget.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a draft pick or two for him. Well, Panthers, easy. Panthers could definitely probably end up doing it.
I don't know. I don't know the
Toronto,
Panthers.
right now they're in trouble.
That's
But
the last thing Toronto needs is somebody like that.
I know I'm just
I
saying
mean,
like
you
even
gotta
like
look at.
Carolina or like just another veteran presence of a contender.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's easy money for Stamkos, and I think it could be easy for the Predators to be like, "Okay, give us a draft pick plus, a prospect, because you guys, this piece is what you're gonna probably miss from the playoffs."
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting on what Nashville does here because they got this is second year. They have to start.
They can't
They
score. They can't do nothing. Can't
Yeah,
score.
they got to
Can't
do
play
something.
defense. It's abysmal. I mean, yeah, I'm just starting to look. I'm looking at their points, and yeah, Philip Forsberg was leading the team points at 16
Which
with
is
9 goals.
Yeah, I don't see
Tom
him
Wilson has
going.
more than that.
Yeah, I
Just so
don't
you
see
know.
him not going. I don't see Forsberg going anywhere.
Maybe he'll come
But
to where he got drafted, the Caps.
yeah,
No,
so
I don't. No, yeah, it's a touchy subject. I mean, at least see with Nashville, why aren't they doing what Vancouver's doing right now? Vancouver is
jeez.
seeing what they're playing crap. Now they're second year are missing, probably more likely going to miss playoffs. Guys are not playing good. Everything's I know, and some guys are banged up. I know Demko's banged up again.
There's a lot of
Should have
teams.
never got rid of Silovs.
That's why. Yeah.
But either way, no. But Vancouver announced today that all veterans are available. Basically, everybody's available for trade, but Quinn Hughes. That's it. So everybody's available. Which,
Jeez,
if I'm a
that's
Caps
crazy.
fan, right now I'm thinking Kiefer Sherwood. Let's go make some moves for
Garland.
Lapierre. I'm
Garland.
sorry, Lapierre. I know Garland would be great, but I'm a Kiefer Sherwood who is basically he's turned into like what Tom Wilson's turned into right now, as a goal scoring hitter.
Yeah.
And so he led the league last year in hits. Right now he's leading Vancouver, I think, in points and everything. I think. But yeah, they need to do that route.
Yeah.
Everybody's available except for Brady Martin or somebody. They're a young rookie who had in the beginning when he was playing and they're at least playing and he was doing all right. So,
Yeah.
They just something needs to change. Big drastic changes need to come.
Yeah.
To that team, but yeah, I don't know. Nashville is. I'm sorry for a Predators fan.
Yeah.
It's a tough cookie to swallow.
But on to the.
I got one more question though. Maybe I save it. No, I'll ask it. Do you think Bedard and Celebrini deserve a spot on Team Canada for the Olympics?
I don't know. Do I think they deserve a
I didn't say
spot?
deserve, but do you think they should like?
I don't
no,
think
because they got called to camp for 4 Nations, so I'm not gonna say. Yeah, do you think they deserve a spot? Yeah, based on play.
I don't know. It's tough. When it comes to the Olympics and things like that, I'd rather have the experience of that moment rather than of how well you're doing now.
Mm.
Especially two younger guys. One of them, I would say, you could pick one. I'd be like, okay, but to put both of them in, it would be hard. Because it's the Olympics.
Mhm.
Like, and I understand they probably both played in juniors and stuff.
Yeah, in Worlds. I mean, last year
World Cup, but
Celebrini played with. I think
I
Celebrini and Bedard played with Crosby at Worlds.
I don't. It's a different thing. I'd rather have the experience, the veterans, because I think that's that's just what's going to be. Again, I know you want to kick out, you want to get newer guys in, but
you want that young talent.
But it depends on who they're taking their spot. It's because if you look at 4 Nations, maybe there's a few that 1 or 2 is like, okay, we can spot in. Like Sam Bennett's not been doing super great.
No.
Right. So maybe
I mean, based on what he did at 4 Nations and the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So it's tough to say.
When he needed it, he brought it.
Yeah. So that's why I said I'd rather have the people that are experienced with it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would love to see them there, and maybe they're not playing as much, maybe they're subs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough to be like, yeah, man, because they're doing so good. Because I'm like, it's different because it's not a regular season game. When playoffs come, it's a different game.
Mm-hmm.
Every NHL player says it. Playoffs is a different season.
Yep.
I would have to assume the Olympics is 10 times more than the playoffs, just because it's your country.
They probably have, I'm assuming, different. I'm sure like a couple different rules, maybe.
Well, rules, yeah, but overall,
I'm talking for like physicality.
There's no fighting in the Olympics or anything like that, but still, you're still going to see the big hits. You're going to see all that happen.
Did get to see Ovi rock Yager.
Yeah, so you're gonna just see more competitive. They're gonna see a game. So yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. If they had maybe some playoff experience, I'd be like, yeah, they could probably squeeze in. But with no playoff experience and jumping right into the Olympic roster, I feel like it's gonna be a big
too much
step off. I'm like, if you watched the face-offs with the Brady Tkachuk, Brady was like, after I was done, dude, I felt like that was a playoff game, it meant even more, and it wanted, and that like kickstarted how good Ottawa did, and they got into the playoffs. And so it just to see that, like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they deserve. They're doing great. Don't get me wrong. Logan Cooley doing great as well. He's got another. He's got a hat tricks too and stuff.
They've been a stud.
But
I mean, based on what USA's injuries are, yeah, he's gonna play.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, and again, if guys are hurt and then it's like, okay, well, guys are
right
hurt.
now,
Then
we're
yeah,
without both Kachucks going into the Olympics right now.
I know.
That's not.
So
But Brady's supposed to come back this Friday.
So it's just gonna be up in the air. It's something to watch out for, honestly, for both the U.S. and Canada, because that should almost be the
gold medal game. I will let you know that, I think it was last week, Matthew Schaefer was going into drug testing for the Olympic Committee or whatever.
Yeah.
So he has a chance now to possibly make the Olympic roster.
He's Canada, though,
Canadian,
right?
I believe, yes.
So
it'd be great if he was American.
Again, but that's the thing. Like, and funny enough, I was just watching the season 5 trailer for Shoresy, and that was one thing. Like, that was the thing. It's like, we're turning into a European game where Europeans are wanting just more fast pace and this and that, while Canada and the Americans were always a force to reckon with. Like, that's how we win games, and it's true. I'm like, that's how we won. That's how in the US Olympics. We play physical. And look at Panthers. They play physical when it comes to the playoffs, and they can outbeat you because they're more physical. And so that's
going to bring back that old school hockey.
Exactly. So that's why when it comes down to it, that's why I would rather have a guy that is going to be tougher.
I get it, because, I mean, look at Jack Hughes at Four Nations.
Yeah.
He kind of got tossed around a lot. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what's going to happen to Bedard and Celebrini.
So that's what, it's a different game. It's not what you see in NHL, where they get all this free time and this and that. They're making great plays. It's
a wider ice, so you might get a split second more.
But overall, they're going to be.
But that decision's going to be a lot more heavier.
Yes. So, it'll be interesting for both sides. I am excited. I think, defensive wise, I think United States has a really good core of Charlie McCoy.
McAvoy, Faber.
Yeah, like, we got a solid D.
Slavin,
I think even like our goaltending. Talking about goaltending, I like how we just went to Olympics.
Oh.
But if Kemper and Logan Thompson, if they're not on the Canadian goalies, I'm going to be pretty upset. Kemper is playing unbelievable right now for the LA Kings. Logan Thompson has been.
They're the only two options.
Have been unbelievable.
They can't go with the other ones because they're playing like.
But yeah, those are the only two. Like that, the goaltender is the only spot right now where you say, okay, you're playing really good.
But
you have
the thing with Kemper's had experience in those high octane games.
Yes,
Thompson has not really.
That's why. Yeah,
he's had playoff experience, but not. Like, yeah, he was on the Vegas team that won the cup, but he got hurt, and then Hill took over, and so he didn't actually win the cup for them. So, like, he's been on the bench for that, but yeah, he doesn't. So I don't know, but he'll definitely if he doesn't, it's all because of Bruce Cassidy.
Yeah,
and that whole debacle with the freaking Hockey Canada stupid crap.
Yeah,
that's all like, politics.
Kemper last year was a Vezina finalist.
Yep.
And he's still on top of his game. He's won Stanley Cups with Colorado. He's
just, I mean, as long as he doesn't try tripping people, we'll be all right.
Yeah, that was funny. So I just don't understand if Kemper's not there. It doesn't make sense.
He should be.
Goaltending's the only position right now where
Wedgwood might be there too.
Yeah,
Scott,
like
Colorado.
You have to look at the goaltenders, because that's going to what translates into the Olympics.
And
not just like, he's played in the playoffs this many times, and it's like, how well are they doing now? Because that's the one that's going to transition.
Yeah,
and you got to look at these GMs have to look at the players that have been in the playoffs and what they do in the playoff situations, because that's where this is going to shine.
Yeah, Evander Kane.
Yeah, like
Corey Perry.
So. Yeah, that's right. If you're going just by statistics here, it's like Corey Perry, get him in, because he's unbelievable right now.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Only time too is in the playoffs.
So yeah, they got to look at the guys that are going to make the big impact, during that time. I wouldn't pick Corey Perry, because you're going to lose, because that's how it goes.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't either.
But yeah. We'll see. I'm excited for it though. But let's
Just Ovi doesn't get a chance.
I know.
Just,
Too bad. He
just
could change
Ovi,
citizenship.
Kucherov,
Have him change
Malkin.
citizenship.
I know. That's not
How
happening.
much? How much money would you pay? How much money would you pay to have just
Money that I don't have.
like U.S. be like Donald Trump? We need this amount of money to get Ovi to change
Here's the thing,
citizenship.
Ovi is way too loyal.
I know. I'm
For
just
his own
saying.
good.
But
He's too loyal for his own good.
all right, let's head over to the Eastern Conference. I'll just say this, and then you can take over on whatever you want to say.
It's so damn close.
Yeah, that's one thing.
It's
So
disgusting.
the wild card spot, right, is at 26 points right now, and that number 10, the worst team in this conference, is Toronto at 21. So that's very close.
Mm.
And again, two things then for me. Toronto, I know you're probably going to talk to them, so I'll start with New York Islanders. The Islanders are surprising me right now, being number 3 in the Metro. So good for them. I like that. And then also seeing Tampa Bay up there
back.
The Atlanta. Yeah. So top right there. Sad to see Montreal being below the wild card spot, but then the Toronto, big thing with them is they're just hurt. They are hurting bad. I think they have like 2 lines of guys that are hurt.
Well, Matthews and Kanais is out.
So it's just it sucks. It really does suck. You lose Mitch, and then this happens. It just kind of what else can happen type of thing. So sucks for them to be that way, but hopefully those guys can get healthy and bring this team out of the funk. But yeah, this Eastern Conference, dude, like I said, I'm closing my phone. The rest is yours. Is very interesting because this is unbelievably close for every team. Even the Buffalo Sabres that I don't have hopes in, they're there. Sneaky way can come back in.
Everybody's there. I mean, yeah, the Rangers are at 24, and the first wild card spot Capitals are at 26. That's 1 win. 1 win away from jumping from 9 to first in the wild card spot.
Yeah,
that it is unbelievably close. There is no accordion that you can bring out for this, as it is all crept up right up tight against each other. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Metropolitan is basically what it is, other than the Islanders being there instead of the Caps. I'm mad. But no, the Caps are making the comeback, though. But no, the Islanders deserve their dues, as that Matthew Schaefer has brought that team alive. Barzal's coming back, and he's been playing really well. Horvat's been doing really well as well. They've had these guys last year that kind of took maybe a down year, step back, who have now taken a step forward and another step, and so it's teams on the upside. I'm sure Roy's he's pretty happy. You see the team, better than what it was last year, as they couldn't score to save their lives half the time. It was so inconsistent too. I mean, there was multiple game streaks where they would go with scoring maybe 1 or 2 goals over a span of 3 to 5 games.
Yeah.
And so to have them, to see where it's at right now is really good. To see that your young, 19-year-old, 20, Schaefer, to see him be able to basically,
I think he's 18, dude.
Yeah, to basically say draft night that his goal was to make the opening night roster. He comes into camp, does exactly what he says, and above expectations, and he averages the most ice time on that team and has been. And then he gets to game 9, and they're like, "Well, he's played every game. There's no way they send him down." They're not. No, this kid earned his spot, earned what he gets, and yeah, he's showing what he can bring to this team as maybe a franchise player, defenseman.
Yeah,
I mean, the kid's amazing. His skating ability is incredible. He's got a good shot. He's got a great head on his shoulders, and is very mature for his age. And so I'm a fan. I'm a Schaefer fan. This kid's pretty awesome. I'm excited to watch his career grow and all that stuff, and to see what the Islanders do from now on, because they're staying in it. They're not. They're 7-3 and all in the last 10. They won their last game. I think they play on Thursday, or went tomorrow, I think it is. But yeah, other than that though, as long as they keep up this pressure, for sure they're looking at cracking the playoffs this year, and bringing it back. How far can they go? I don't see him. I just don't know. Their goaltending is still iffy. With Sorokin, I don't know how he will do. With that much pressure on him come playoff time, when that time comes. But other than that though, yeah, that's for me for that Metro. But the Atlantic, it's nice to see Tampa back. It's not nice, actually. I shouldn't say that. That's a total lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't like seeing Tampa back on there, and I was pretty happy seeing them. down there on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Honestly, yeah, I'd rather see Montreal up there,
Yeah,
to be
because
honest.
I'm trying to see some new teams get in there. But Tampa's Tampa, and they always find a way to crawl back out. The thing that hurt them again, they were injury plagued by the masses. I mean, it was unbelievable. They didn't have a single guy on defense that I knew who the hell they were. I
Yeah.
mean, it was crazy. And so to be able to muster wins with players like that out speaks volumes for the coaching and the depth that they have, that we didn't think they would have. And so Lightning's doing Lightning. Detroit is hanging in there. They've fallen off kind of the last week or two, 4-5-1,
Yeah.
the last 10 games, and they're a pretty gritty team. It seems like this year they've got a chip on their shoulder, a big chip on their shoulder, as we've seen 2 times now that they've come into brawls
Oh,
after the game's
game's
over.
over. Yeah.
And obviously that stems from stuff that happened in the game, but yeah, they just got a big old chip on their shoulder for some reason, which is it's like the old time Detroit,
Yeah.
old school hockey type stuff. It's cool to see, honestly. I'm sure it's not cool for their team's fans, but I enjoy seeing it as a non-biased fan and as a neutral for watching their games. So, and then right below them is Ottawa. Who thought Ottawa was in that 3 spot? I mean, your captain's been out, and you're able to still
Yeah.
win like this. That's pretty impressive, if I say so myself.
Yeah. Lost to the Kings though last night.
No, they've been quiet. They've been 5-2-3.
Yeah.
A lot of overtime, so but those points matter.
Well,
Really.
yeah, when you lose your captain and you still find the ways to win, that's to be in a top 3, not in the wild card, that's huge.
Yeah, that's big for them. And yeah, and this year too, it looks like it's been a crazy amount of overtime games this year.
Yes.
Like I don't know how many. Like
Yes.
it's like I feel like every game like goes to overtime. Like it's wild the amount of overtime games. So I think that's another reason why the standings are as close as what they are, because we're basically seeing 3-point games
Yeah.
instead of 2-point games. So like one team's getting with 1 point at least, so they don't get too far behind. So they stay so close. That just makes it all the more entertaining to watch every game, because it's not like I've said in the past, other sports where regular season games are a bore. They don't matter.
Yeah.
And you can tell because the players play like they don't matter. Not in hockey. Nope. These guys play like it matters. But
Nope.
and it's amazing that they can take another step up when it comes to the playoffs, because you would think they wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
But and then Pittsburgh staying there, they're falling off. Montreal, yeah, they've kind of get beaten up, but they beat the heck out of Toronto.
Yeah.
Did you watch some of that?
I saw this. It was like, was it 8-3?
Something like that. Did you see some of their power plays?
Or was it that the big fights?
No, not the fights, but their
Okay.
power play at least, where they were passing around like it was so pretty. It was like I don't know, like high school, or not even like Bantams, like where you have like a team that's dominating another team, like Brookings against us back there, they were just pass it around. It was like so beautiful. Toronto looked, they were just the chicken with their head cut off chasing, and like Montreal was passing around so pretty. It looked beautiful, like it was super old school. And then then they score off, like they just bullied them. But no, Montreal's doing good. Philadelphia on the rise, they're doing all right. Florida's not worried about them. Columbus is, just shaky with goaltending again, as it is. Of course, New York is so happy to see down there. Buffalo, and then Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto. I mean, yeah, I know they're injury plagued, but even when they're not, when you watch them play, it's gross. It's just like, ugh. Like, I don't know who's worse watching playing right now, the Maple Leafs or the Rangers.
Yeah.
If you watch the Rangers even now, and their captain, I don't know, I've seen a couple of clips of him, Miller.
Yeah.
He didn't even care. There's no effort on the ice at all.
Miller's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, what the heck is?
Well, what's his name was doing that last year?
EP, or no?
No, on the Rangers, their captain.
Oh,
Sabachek or whatever.
yeah, Zibanejad. Yeah,
he was doing that last year. So
yeah, he's finally figuring out how to score again in the power play and hit the puck.
So I don't know. Gosh, is that another team where it's like, hey, let's just get rid of people, like start getting rid of Panarin.
They got a brand new head coach at Mike Sullivan, so you think that might have helped a little bit. But again, he's still not playing some of the young guys. I don't know, but that roster is just not put together that well to win. But I don't know. Some of these
teams, another ones that they look good on paper, they just don't perform.
No,
at least not at home.
Then you hang up Matt Rempe to dry. like
Yeah.
with that whole situation with the fighting and all. Like it's like we don't do that anymore. Like he can play too. He's got a good shot and he could skate, and he's been working, and you see him
Yeah.
he's been working on the off season. So he could turn into what, I use example Tom Wilson has turned into, because in the beginning Tom Wilson was just a hitter, that was it. Look at him now.
Yeah.
He's leading the Caps in scoring. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
they can turn into that if you work with them. You got to work with them. You don't just, you don't bully the kid like that and then just go out there and fight, And then like he's got a messed up face or hand, and then you make him go fight again, and then he's like hurt and he's out now. Like I don't like the way they're treating him much,
Yeah.
but it's just, yeah. Some of these ones that you every year you're used to them seeing them there, not where they're at, seeing them where they're at right now. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It just seems so odd, but I like it. It makes things more interesting. Well, yeah, I think that's
about it.
yeah, I think that's all I have. I mean,
Huh?
well, I can't remember if I had anything else. I probably do, but I just, well, I'll forget it. I don't need to talk about I don't want to talk about Caps
Yes.
because they're doing good right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah. So other than that, guys, season's going good here. It's very close for majority of the teams. Like we
at least in
said,
the East.
yeah, East is very, very close. So that's gonna be fun to watch here. The West is kind of taking shape a little bit, which is all fine and dandy. But yeah, other than that, guys, good week of hockey. We're excited to bring more content out here. Thank you, JoJo. Family's home. That means we are done. So again,
Perfect.
guys, hit subscribe button if you haven't already here on YouTube. We are almost at 400 followers over on Instagram. We're very excited. Bauer doesn't know this yet, but we do hit 500 on over there. We will be doing a giveaway. So watch out for that. But we gotta get 500 on Instagram. We're very excited about that. TikTok as well, guys. If you haven't, and again, good luck this weekend and the next 2 weekends as we for the South Dakota hockey guys. And
yeah, we must be doing probably the girls, because the boys don't play here at home until mid-December.
Yep.
So girls, we'll be out there.
And yep. So other than that, guys, stay safe with this winter, and
yeah,
we'll see you guys all next
stay
time.
safe, stay warm, and happy Thanksgiving.
See ya.